Flashpoint Haiti Season 2, Episode 2, The Haitian Dilemma in 2025, Exploring Pressing Haitian Issues. Haiti's Constitutional Referendum, a deep dive. The constitutional referendum in Haiti has been a contentious issue, with the transitional government determined to move forward despite significant challenges. The proposed changes aim to address governance issues, including the abolition of the Senate, the creation of a unicameral legislature, and modifications to the presidential term limits. However, the process has faced widespread criticism for its lack of legitimacy and adherence to constitutional provisions. Article 284-3 of Haiti's 1987 Constitution explicitly forbids referendums as a method for amendments, requiring changes to be approved by a two-thirds parliamentary majority. Impact of gang violence on participation. The escalating gang violence in Haiti has further complicated the referendum process, with gangs controlling approximately 85% of Port-au-Prince. Millions of Haitians have been displaced, losing voter IDs and access to polling stations. This displacement raises serious concerns about voter participation and the inclusivity of the referendum. The security crisis has also led to historically low voter turnout in recent elections, undermining the credibility of the process. Public awareness and opposition. Many Haitians remain uninformed about the referendum, with critics arguing that the transitional government has failed to engage the public effectively. Legal experts, political leaders, and civil society groups have voiced strong opposition, warning that the referendum could further destabilize the country. The lack of public awareness and the ongoing security crisis have fueled skepticism about the government's ability to conduct a fair and transparent process. International perspective. The international community has expressed concern over the legitimacy of the referendum and its potential impact on Haiti's stability. The United Nations has emphasized the need for significant improvements in security to ensure the success of the referendum and subsequent elections. Without additional support from the international community, the outlook for Haiti's political transition remains bleak. Escalation of violence. Over 1,000 people were killed in February and March 2025 alone, with an additional 383 injured. This marks a significant increase in violence compared to previous months. Gangs now control approximately 85% of Port-au-Prince, the capital city. Their influence has expanded into previously unaffected areas, including Kenskoff and Mirebalais. Displacement and humanitarian impact. The displacement crisis has overwhelmed local resources, with many Haitians lacking access to necessities such as food, water, and shelter. More than 60,000 people were forcibly displaced in just 2 months. This adds to the over 1 million Haitians already displaced multiple times as of January 2025. Gang tactics and territorial expansion. Gangs have launched coordinated attacks to expand their territorial control, targeting strategic locations such as police stations and prisons. In Mirebalais, a gang coalition orchestrated a mass prison break, freeing over 500 inmates. This was the 5th prison break in under a year, highlighting the gang's ability to undermine state institutions. The United Nations has described the situation as nearing a point of no return, with the potential for total chaos if immediate action is not taken. The Kenyan-led Multinational Security Support Mission, MSSM, has been deployed to assist Haiti's national police. However, the mission faces significant challenges, including a lack of funding and personnel. The Kenyan-led Multinational Security Support Mission, MSSM, has been deployed to assist Haiti's national police. However, the mission faces significant challenges, including a lack of funding and personnel. Broader implications. The escalating violence has paralyzed Haiti's economy and disrupted essential services, including healthcare and education. Public frustration has grown, with many Haitians forming self-defense groups to protect their communities. This crisis underscores the urgent need for international support and a coordinated effort to restore stability in Haiti. Humanitarian crisis in Haiti, a detailed overview. The humanitarian situation in Haiti has reached critical levels, with over 6 million people, more than half the population, in urgent need of assistance. Here's a deeper look into the crisis. Displacement and vulnerable populations. Over 1 million Haitians have been forcibly displaced due to escalating gang violence and insecurity. Many have been displaced multiple times, seeking refuge in makeshift shelters such as schools, churches, and public buildings. Displaced families face dire living conditions, with limited access to food, clean water, and sanitation facilities. This has exacerbated the risk of disease outbreaks, including cholera and dengue. Impact on children. UNICEF reports that over 1 million children are facing critical levels of food insecurity, with 2.85 million children, approximately 1/4 of Haiti's child population, classified as food insecure. Malnutrition is a growing concern, with severe acute malnutrition, SAM, affecting tens of thousands of children. UNICEF and its partners have treated over 4,600 children for SAM since the start of 2025, but this represents less than 4% of the estimated 129,000 children in need of treatment this year. Challenges in humanitarian aid delivery. Funding shortfalls are severely hampering aid efforts. The UN World Food Program urgently requires $53.7 million to sustain its operations in Haiti over the next 6 months. Security concerns and logistical barriers, such as gang-controlled territories, are limiting the delivery of humanitarian aid to affected areas. Despite these challenges, organizations like UNICEF continue to provide vital services, including psychosocial support for displaced children and emergency medical supplies. International response. The United Nations has called for increased international support to address the worsening crisis. However, funding for critical sectors, including water, sanitation, and hygiene, remains particularly low. The Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, and other partners are working to strengthen health infrastructure and enhance disease surveillance, but they face significant obstacles due to the deteriorating security situation. The humanitarian crisis is compounded by Haiti's economic collapse, with inflation exceeding 30% and many families unable to afford basic necessities. Women and children are disproportionately affected, with reports of increased sexual violence and exploitation in displacement camps. This crisis underscores the urgent need for coordinated international action to address both the immediate humanitarian needs and the underlying causes of instability in Haiti. Kenya-led Multinational Security Support Mission, MSS. A detailed analysis. The Kenya-led MSS mission is a critical international effort aimed at assisting Haiti's national police in combating the escalating gang violence and restoring stability. Here's a deeper look into the mission's status and challenges. The MSS mission was approved by the UN Security Council in October 2023 to support Haiti's authorities in fighting organized crime. However, it is not a UN operation and relies on voluntary contributions from member states. As of April 2025, only 1,000 personnel have been deployed, representing less than 40% of the planned 2,500 officers. This underemployment has significantly limited the mission's operational capacity. The mission faces severe funding shortages, with many contributing countries failing to meet their financial commitments for. This has hindered the procurement of essential equipment and logistical support. Despite these challenges, Kenyan officers have demonstrated exceptional professionalism and capability, undergoing rigorous training in areas such as firearms proficiency, public order management, and humanitarian law. The MSS mission has intensified joint operations with Haiti's national police, focusing on dismantling gang networks and securing critical infrastructure. Recent anti-gang operations have targeted strategic installations and gang leaders, achieving notable progress in reducing violence in certain areas. International contributions. Canada has donated technological equipment to strengthen Haiti's border security, including tactical vehicles, night vision goggles, and drones. The United States has reiterated its support for the MSS mission, urging other member states to increase their contributions. The MSS mission is a vital component of Haiti's security strategy, but its success depends on increased international support and funding. The UN has emphasized the urgent need for member states to rally behind the mission, warning that Haiti is approaching a point of no return. Progress on elections. Haiti's elections, initially planned for earlier dates, have been postponed multiple times due to security concerns. The Transitional Presidential Council has reaffirmed that elections will be held in February. However, the deteriorating security situation is jeopardizing preparations. The Republic of Haiti is set to hold general elections in 7 months, stated by Leslie Voltaire, the country's interim president, according to an article in the French publication Le Monde. President Voltaire aims to conduct elections in November 2025, with the government expected to be sworn in by 2026. Haiti last held a general election in 2016, and 5 years later, its democratically elected president, Jovenel Moïse, was assassinated in his residence in Port-au-Prince. The tragic assassination of Moïse created a leadership vacuum, resulting in severe instability. Additionally, a multinational peacekeeping force led by the US, Canada, and CARICOM has been deployed. It remains difficult to assess. United Nations Security Report. The UN warns that Haiti is on the verge of total chaos due to escalating gang violence. The MSS mission faces significant challenges, and the UN is calling for increased international support. The Security Council has emphasized the urgent need for action to prevent further destabilization. The United Nations has issued a stark warning about Haiti's deteriorating situation, emphasizing the urgent need for international intervention to prevent the country from descending into total chaos. Here's a deeper look into the crisis. Organized criminal groups have expanded their territorial control, with gangs now dominating approximately 85% of Port-au-Prince and spreading into surrounding areas. Recent attacks have targeted previously unaffected regions, including Mirabalais, where gangs orchestrated a prison break, freeing over 500 inmates. This marked the 5th prison break in less than a year. Challenges facing the MSS mission. The escalating violence has displaced over 60,000 Haitians in the past 2 months alone, adding to the 1 million already displaced by December 2024. Cholera outbreaks and gender-based violence have surged, further exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The Kenya-led Multinational Security Support Mission, MSS, has been deployed to assist Haiti's national police. However, the mission remains severely underfunded and understaffed, with only 1,000 personnel deployed out of the planned 2,500. Despite intensive anti-gang operations, the MSS mission has struggled to achieve considerable progress due to logistical and resource constraints. UN Security Council's call to action. The escalating violence has displaced over 60,000 Haitians in the past 2 months alone, adding to the 1 million already displaced by December 2024. Cholera outbreaks and gender-based violence have surged, further exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The Kenya-led Multinational Security Support Mission, MSS, has been deployed to assist Haiti's national police. However, the mission remains severely underfunded and understaffed, with only 1,000 personnel deployed out of the planned 2,500. Despite intensive anti-gang operations, the MSS mission has struggled to achieve considerable progress due to logistical and resource constraints